Chelsea will be looking to stretch their advantage at the top of the Premier League table to 4 points when they travel to 4th place West Ham on Saturday afternoon. Yes, we are still in 4th place. The Blues will enter the contest off the back of a 2-1 victory at Watford on Wednesday, while West Ham were held to a 1-1 draw by Brighton and Hove Albion on the same night. Welcome back to the West Ham Network. I'm Anton, joined by Matt, but I'm not just joined by Matt this evening. We're joined by none other than David De Gea. How you doing, David? You all right, son?
I wish you said that. How are you doing? All right, people. Where are we?
We're all good, mate. We're all good. Get your comments in. Let's get this chat up and going. Hit the thumbs up, all that malarkey. But anyway, very quick questions to use before we talk the opposition. Matt, how you feeling about Chelsea, mate? Briefly, Matt. Matt. Briefly.
Cautiously optimistic?
Too long. Took too long there, mate.
So you're feeling a little bit optimistic?
Yeah, just because we always turn up. So.
Yeah, well. Yeah. Okay, I like that. I like that optimism, mate. I like that optimism. It's not like you, so I'll take it for a one-off. Lucky boy, on the back of a 1-1 draw at home against Brighton, did you feel as disappointed as what I did?
I was gutted, but I wasn't surprised. I mean, I 5 seconds before they scored, I went, "Hey, we scored, yeah. We're doing quite well against Brighton. To be fair, we're doing all right." No, this is a must-win now. 3 games without. This is the thing. 3 games without a win, and we're still in the top 4, which I find really, really amazing. To be fair, so I'm still dreaming as a West Ham fan. There's no doubt about it. It's just tomorrow's a must-win against Chelsea, the team who I think are going to win the Premier League this year. And you can't, it's not an easy game, but we've done it before. Chaps. You can do it again. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, there's no point me, you, the two of you sitting here, trying our best to understand what Chelsea are all about. So it is that time of the show where we actually go ahead and ask for the opposition fan to come on. Let's talk Chelsea. Everyone, please welcome Dammy from the Grand Dam. Dammy, how you doing, mate? And thank you for joining us.
Woo! I'm good. I'm buzzing. Listen, it's Friday evening. I get to chill. We don't have to listen to people at work anymore. So I'm just chilling for the week. And I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So hope you lot are good. You lot seem really excited ahead of the game. So good.
Yeah, well, I think we're just excited about what's happening at West Ham right now. However, recently it's not been as exciting as it has been over the last 3 games. But before we move on, Dammy, give your channel a plug. Let people know where they can go and find you. All that malarkey.
Well, yeah, it's just the Grand Dam. So like all my social platforms, anyone you can imagine, I'm pretty much on them, and it's all just a little. How do you do it? The thing, yeah, that thing. That's what it is. I missed it, but yeah, you get the gist. So that's my socials basically. So yeah, thanks for that.
No, cool, man. No worries at all. And again, thank you very much for joining us. So, Chelsea, talk to me, mate. What's been happening this season? How you feeling about this season?
This season, it's been good. You know what I'm saying? It's been really, really good. High quality football. Stamford Bridge is buzzing. I've been to a lot of games this season. Things have been looking nice. In recent times, the injuries have been really messing us about. But overall, this season has a lot of Chelsea fans feeling like we are title contenders. And I wouldn't even blame them because the football has been phenomenal, mate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, Matt, what do you think? I mean, Matt, you watch loads of Premier League football, so hit me up, let me know what your thoughts are on Chelsea this year.
The thing is, it's not just going forward that they're there this year, it's at the back. Like, when you look at Liverpool, yes, Liverpool score like a bucket ton of goals, but they ship them as well. I think Chelsea have conceded, 5 goals this season? I know like 2 of them from open play. Like they don't concede goals.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Tuchel's got the defence on lockdown. They just don't concede goals. That's how Chelsea do it. And obviously they already had the players, the quality up front. And then it looks like bringing in Thiago Silva free was like a masterstroke. They got rid of Kepa, got in a decent goalkeeper. Should have been rated higher. And obviously got people like Kante in the midfield, so they've finally shut down that defence. You know, back from when like Lampard was in charge, and yeah, it was brilliant free flow attack football, but they'd always concede.
Yeah.
Tuchel's come in now, and they just they don't ship goals. So
Dammy,
you've got
talk
the
to
mix
me.
of the attacking football and the defensive stuff.
Yeah. So, Dammy, of course, Matt's touching on the coach, the manager. You know, you've played 14 times this season. You've won 10 games. You've lost 1. You have scored 33 goals, only conceding 6 with 8 clean sheets. What is it that this guy is doing that's adding that glossy excitement about Chelsea?
Who? Tommy T, you know. Tommy T. Listen, Tommy T is not here to mess about. Listen, this guy, honestly, I don't like. It's almost like he came down from heaven. Do you know what I'm saying? He's come in, he's taking all these young players, getting us to play attractive football. Everybody says we've got back 7 tacks. Yeah, we've got the most goals in the league. Do you know what I'm saying? We have more clean sheets than goals conceded. It tells you a lot. This man in an interview said that he's going to build a team that nobody wants to play against. He wasn't joking. He wasn't taking piss. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's done that. So we've got an actual team capable of dismantling any team in world football. I'd back my team against any team in the world. Obviously, like, we've got injuries at the moment. Things are looking a bit iffy. Do you know what I'm saying? What happened in the last game, it was a bit of a sticky situation. They nearly had us for dead. I mean, they beat you lot recently, I think. You lot have not won the game in your last 3 games, I believe. I saw you lost to, was it? Yeah, it was what for you? I mean, you guys have
it was Wolves. We got beat Man City, and then we drew against Brighton.
Exactly, yeah. But at the end of the day, like, this Chelsea team is the football is so good, so good. Oh my lord, so good. Wow, doing so well, man.
Look, when you look at the Chelsea, like the Chelsea team, the Chelsea setup, I mean, there is quality, obviously, and strength and depth in that squad, and Tommy T, as Dammy calls him, is doing the job. What do you think then of what everyone's saying about Chelsea?
It's very good you get opposition fans on, but there are times when they come on and they just literally make me shit a brick about the next game we're playing, because the way he's talking about them, we're going to get done about 5-0, I think. No. I've been amazingly impressed by Tuchel since they're coming. I've even said to you boys before the video started, I think that Chelsea are going to win the Premier League, and I said that even before the season started. Just the way they're built, the way they go, they lose. If they do lose, I think they lose by, they're beaten well. Like, it's not like a lucky thing. You've got to really be at the top of your game to beat a team like Chelsea, and West Ham always tend to step it up against a big team, and then we've got to try and do it against Chelsea tomorrow, because the way he's talking as a Chelsea fan, you watch him every week and stuff like that, and that's a scary thing. You watch him every week, you detail it, you analyse it every week. People like me only see him through the highlights on Match of the Day or Sky Sports or something like that, and you look good then. So God knows how good you look through the 90 minutes and all that sort of stuff. And it's I'm looking forward to it in a way, because I can see West Ham stepping up, but there's stepping it up and then there's stepping up and not losing. So it's going to be very interesting. And it's funny, I was reading the comments earlier. By the way, I've got to just say to Neil from Down Under, my Achilles is all right. I know Fred did tread on it yesterday and Arsenal scored. But it's I'm fully recovered, mate. And anyway, so on a serious note, Lukaku is apparently fit for tomorrow, which West Ham fans are going to love to hear, because we love watching Lukaku score against us every time he plays. So it just gets better and better, doesn't it?
You've kind of brought up one of the players we were going to discuss, because
Sorry
Lukaku does. Anyway, lads, see you later. Thanks for joining us on the Matchday program. But Dammy, Luke has brought up the player that does love to score goals against West Ham, Lukaku. Since he's been back, talk to me about him, mate.
Lukaku has been good. There's been a bit of there's been an issue we've had, because this Chelsea team recently, we've been playing quite well, but when Lukaku was sort of very, very fit, I hadn't really changed up the system that much. So it was either a Lukaku show or like another Chelsea show entirely. So it's going to be interesting to see what Tuchel does in the game tomorrow. Timo Werner, I love him to bits, but brother, you pack up your bags. You know what I'm saying? Pack them up. Respectfully speaking, you know what I'm saying? I love you till you step on the football pitch. By the end of the day, my thing is like, Lukaku's probably going to come into the starting 11 tomorrow. I'm going to see him. I'm expecting to do quite a few bits here and there. Havertz is starting to perform quite nicely as well. So it's going to be interesting. And like you said, he has an excellent goal scoring record against West Ham. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does manage to bag 1 or 2 tomorrow as well. But I'm not going to take anything away from your squad because you guys have been playing really well. I tried to watch some of your games. Declan Rice, learn watch. I've been watching. Learn watching that. Well, I see him. Mikel Antonio seems to be doing.
You keep your hands off him, Dammy. You keep him hands off him. No, we're going to take. See Mason Mount. He can come this way. We'll take Mason Mount. Okay.
Mason who? He ain't going nowhere, fam. He's not going to none of that. Listen, he's coming to us. It's all good. Declan Rice, the best friendship in the Premier League can settle at Chelsea. It's not at West Ham. Do you know what I'm saying? But
Lukaku has got 9 goals against West Ham. And he could become the 7th player to net double figures against West Ham in the Premier League. But he does like a goal against us. And I think those goals have come throughout his whole career at all the clubs he's played for in the Premier League as well. Look, go for it.
I was just going to say, you're saying you want Werner at the door, which I can completely understand, right? But cast your mind back to the last time West Ham played Chelsea, and we needed to win to go in the top 4, really.
But hold on a second. Hold on. Hold the thought for a second, because on that, let's remind everyone.
Oh, here we go. Why'd I do that?
Go on then, Lukey boy, add to it, mate.
Well, by the way, people, I'm getting messages from Anton saying, please stop messing up my setup. I've got the plan.
No, it's cool. No, it's good. I like it.
No, listen, there's an unwritten law, Dammy, that any player that doesn't score in football, when they play West Ham, for some reason, all their football skills magically return to them and they love scoring. So not only did Werner score last year when everyone was saying he was crap, scored the winner 1-0, he's probably going to score tomorrow as well. I'm not that... Probably is a bit of a more of a certain word that I want to use, but do not be surprised if you want the man at the door. But the one game he's going to choose to score in the league will be against us. It'll be a Lukaku and Werner masterclass tomorrow. Don't worry about that.
Well, I tell you what, Lukey boy, mate. I mean, well. I'm gonna try my best and bring some positivity back into this room because
I'm not really that positive tonight, am I?
No, you're not.
I'm not. Notice how I'm not talking too much because Chelsea injuries, we have our injuries. You know what I'm saying? So our squad is not even that complete, and you lot have been playing some serious football. Do you know what I'm saying? I saw you lot beat to Liverpool. That wasn't a joke thing at all. Man City scraped that. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hear anybody tell me otherwise. They scraped that. Obviously, Brighton, that was a bit unlucky as well. That came out of nowhere. But listen, you lot are playing some good football. Chelsea right now, I don't know if you saw our last game. Saul loves to cheek midfield. I believe Jorginho gets back into the play. But I'm missing a wing back. Mikel Antonio likes running down that left-hand side. That's Marcos Alonso on that side as well. So we've got problems here and there. So you lot can feel like we're going to come and beat you 5-6-0. I didn't say anything. I'm here. I'm reversing. I'm keeping on a respectful thing.
This geezer is the nicest Chelsea fan we've ever had on ever. I've ever met, I think.
I'm keeping it respectful. Oh my!
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's
go on, Matt. Add something to it. Talk to us and let us. Give Dammy some questions.
I mean, I was going to say the Werner comment, and Luke just jumped in there. And I was like, you know what? I was going to say the exact same thing. To be honest, there is players and you know what? Yeah, Chelsea might have some injuries, and as you said, I think Chilwell's out for the season. I think we might be unfortunate, and I think Kante might be back for tomorrow, which might probably be a big boost for Chelsea. If he is, and it'd be a big loss for us because
he's not back
that guy's different in midfield.
No, he's not back for tomorrow. No,
he's not.
I mean, how much of it's a boost for West Ham? How much of a loss is that to you guys, Dammy, not having Kante in the midfield, or is there enough strength and depth?
It's quite a loss because Saul recently, because the problem with Chelsea's midfield is that we lost 3 of the big hitters. We lost Jorginho, Kante, and Kovacic. Kante is world class. You know what I'm saying? Finishing number 5 as a Ballon d'Or contender. That's no joke at all. So he's obviously a massive loss. I feel like we would have been able to use him to win the ball back because he lot on transition can be quite dangerous as well. And that's what Kante loves to do, nipping the ball up in those little pockets of space. Now we're not going to have him against West Ham. We're going to have to play a bit differently. So it's a massive loss for us. You know what I'm saying? Jorginho is back happily, so we're going to have some control in that game. It's going to be like a Jorginho Rice thing. Let's see how that goes. But at the end of the day, Kante is a big loss, man. A massive, massive loss. So it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold tomorrow.
Another player I want to talk to you about, though, who's been on form a lot this season is Reece James. I mean, before I come to you, Dammy, I'll put this one to you. Look, what do you think of him? Because he seems to have been past fit for this game. I think he missed the Watford game midweek, and now he will be back for the game tomorrow. So, look, what's your thoughts on Reece James? And then I'll bring this one over to you, Dammy, as well.
He's scary. He's absolutely scary. It's quite interesting because I think West Ham, our academy is pretty good. We're starting to get players more in now than we've had over the years. But out of nowhere, Chelsea have got 3 players from their academy who are just absolutely smashing it this year. And England at this point have got too many right backs, too many good right backs, right wing backs, whatever you want to call them. And he just seems to not only can he defend, play make, he can also score really good goals. And I think, it's actually quite worrying about the fact that you've got players like Lukaku and the forwards who can score, and yet the fullbacks like Reece James, you cannot give him an inch. And I think he's going to be, in my opinion, in the next couple of years, he'll be definitely England's best, number one right back. He'll be first choice over everyone. Obviously, I know that certain players play better in certain teams. It doesn't suit them playing in the national teams as much as it does their club teams. But he's the top dollar. In fact, it's quite weird because sometimes I have an accumulator bet with both goal scorers, and it's getting to the point now where I don't put strikers scoring for Chelsea. I put Reece James scoring for Chelsea because he does it so often, and it's going to be for my opinion, Creswell and Shafau, and Johnson are very, very good. I thought they played very well this year, but this is going to be their biggest test so far. I'm not sure who's playing left wing back, but right wing back certainly for Chelsea is going to be dynamite for him. So it's
well, talk to me, Dammy. Then I mean, we all see it. He's got 4 goals for you this season. He's got 4 assists for you this season.
Probably more than that.
Yep.
But talk to me about him then. I mean, is he one of the biggest dangers in your side?
Reece James, the brick on skates. Listen, this guy is not here to muck about. This guy he's honestly speaking, this Trent, Cancelo, Reece James debate. I like them all, you know what I'm saying? But for me, if you ask me to pick, I'm picking Reece James because he can do it up front. He can do it way at the back. The amount of control, composure, and the amount of... Because one thing about Chelsea, we've actually switched up our plan. It's really important to notice that Reece James now is not just your typical right wing back. He actually comes in and almost acts like a number 10 at times because that's how Chelsea's system is at the moment. And in those half spaces, he's exceptionally dangerous. So that's why I've seen him get all those magnificent goals he's getting on the right-hand side and all these assists that he's bagging off. He is so good. And that combination play that he does have with Lukaku and both of them are fit. You lot are not ready. You're not ready. That's all I've got to say. You're not ready for Reece the Beast James, man. He's too good. He's too good.
He went from being nice to being annoying.
So, Dammy, let me bring it to you then in terms of, I've got a few more questions for you. We'll have a look at the team you put out against Watford and what you expect to do. But, looking in at West Ham are currently sitting 3rd in the form table for 2021. We're a different side to what West Ham fans are used to seeing. We're a different side to what opposition fans are used to seeing. What we're doing is we're kind of fitting the right jigsaw pieces into the squad. So how they performed previously at previous clubs might be different to how they perform now. And that brings me on nicely to the man we signed from your lot, which was Kurt Happy Zouma.
So I've taken that name on. Okay, all right, I see.
Yeah, we like it.
We'll take Deckers in return. It's all fine, but no worries. Yeah, carry on.
Right, talk to me then about him, Zouma. I mean, in your honest and humble opinion, is he a big miss to you guys, or was the money too good to turn down? Because considering the squad depth you've got.
I'll be honest, Zouma was a centre-back that I liked, but it was just not going to work out. Not because he's not good, but because the people that are around him are just too much better. Do you know what I'm saying? He's quite an aggressive sort of... he's a secondary centre-back. I always tell people that you've got your primary centre-back, your Thiago Silvas, your Virgil van Dijks, your leaders in the back line, and you have your secondary centre-backs, the ones that sort of follow the leader, basically. like your Rafael Varanes and your Zumas. So for me, Zouma moving on. We have so many secondary centre backs at Chelsea. You've got Trevor Chalobah, you've got Christensen. I mean, Christensen is sort of taking a leadership role when Thiago Silva isn't there. But you've got all these other, we've got so many of them, and Zouma was also far back on the line. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the money that you guys are willing to pay, the fact that we're getting in a new centre back from the academy in Trevor Chalobah, we're linked to Kunde. Kunde was basically done until they started moving crazy. I don't know what they were drinking. I don't know what they put in their drinks or whatever, or devil juice in their water. I don't know what was going on. But at the end of the day, like, things sort of went left, and yeah, he just sort of went off. So I'm not going to. I missed him a bit.
Do you think he's the sort of defender then that needed to be the top boy? Do you think he needed to be the top boy at a club rather than the secondary defender? And that's where West Ham, you know, I mean, I think Zouma has given us 9 out of 10 fantastic performances, and every now and then has not, you know, is kind of maybe fallen into the kind of, you know, maybe the West Ham defending old way. You know, West Ham are still playing really well, but he's come to West Ham and he's kind of taken on that role as the kind of lead centre back. Really, yeah, I know we've got Ogbonna, but he is injured now, and then we've got Dawson and we've got Diop stepping up in the wings beside him. But do you think that would be a position that would really suit him, considering he'd come in as the top boy?
I mean, maybe this is not even trying to be disrespectful at all, but at like West Ham, like, you guys are 4, feel like are doing excellent. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if you guys go into Europe next year. I think you're playing very good football, so don't even take this as like a dig or anything. But I feel like at West Ham, like, you can try and give that role to him and see how it goes in the long term. But for a powerhouse like Chelsea, okay, you're like, the thing, Zouma, like, if you look at Thiago Silva and Zouma, you compare the both of them, Zouma relies a lot on his physical attributes to get his good defending done. And at a top club, you can't really afford to have your primary centre-back operating in that manner, because when you're going to, as a top club, you're going to play as a very high line, you're going to have a lot of the ball, you're going to be in control of the game most time. West Ham tend to sit a bit further back, you know what I'm saying? You don't play like a mid to low block. Chelsea play way high up the pitch. So you're going to need to have a primary centre back that is very aware of what's going on. Zuma's awareness isn't the best. Sometimes he has a lapse in concentration. I see at West Ham, he hasn't really had any of those moments, but at Chelsea, we saw them quite a bit. So I feel like, yeah, at West Ham, he sort of fits that sort of mold, but when you've got Reece James, you've got Aspilicueta, you've got Thiago Silva, you've got Christensen, you've even got maybe Rudiger. I wouldn't put Rudiger in that breath as well, but you've got these defenders that are so much better intellectually. And I'm not dissing Zuma's intellectual capability on the pitch, but I'm saying you've got all these other defenders that don't have to rely so much on their physical attributes. I just feel like Zouma wasn't ever going to cut it as the main guy as Chelsea's backline. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's just sort of how I see the whole picture as is. But he's a good defender, though. He's a good defender.
Yeah. No, I get that. Right, I want to bring up the team that you put out against Watford. Let me see if I've got the right one. First and foremost, that's the West Ham one. So this is the team that you played against Watford. What changes, if at all any, can we expect for the game tomorrow?
It's going to be interesting. What am I expecting to see? I'm expecting, because, so for starters, Chalobah isn't going to play because he's injured, unfortunately. So we're not going to see him till later on in December. So, actually, let me not even get to that. Sao Niguez, get out. Leave that midfield. Get out of there, bro. We're not trying to see that. Not anymore. Respect. This guy of 3. I went to watch Chelsea Aston Villa live. This guy gave the ball away so many times. I thought it was match fixing. Honestly speaking, like, it was horrible. So Sao Niguez against West Ham with Declan Rice in midfield, I am not trying to see that. Maybe we can see my left wing back potentially. I'll be shocked if Tuchel does that, but absolutely no way. Jorginho comes straight back in. I wouldn't be surprised if one of Pulisic or Mount take his seat and Havertz moves into that position for Lukaku to start up front. Aspilicueta is probably going to take up Chalobah's position because Chalobah is out. Christensen is probably going to come out for Thiago Silva. And Reece James sort of gets back into it. But you're basically looking at a team Mendy in goal, Rudiger, Silva, Aspilicueta, Alonso, Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek, and Reece James. Havertz, Mount, and Lukaku. So I'm sort of expecting. Or maybe even Callum Hudson-Odoi. We've got options. Do you know what I'm saying? Up front is a bit hard. But that sort of middle to back line is kind of basic to sort of predict.
Matt, if that is the team that we're coming up against, how do you see West Ham getting at that team tomorrow?
I feel like, any team, I have no badges. I have no coaching badges, you know what I'm saying? I read a lot of football, but I have no badges. But if I was the managing West Ham tomorrow, everybody go down Chelsea's left-hand side. Marcos Alonso, just keep on going there. you're going to spin him eventually. He's going to try and push you down one way, left or form. But then again, you have to proceed with caution because Alonso, as much as he's a liability defensively, this guy always finds a way to get something done up front. So you can look at him and like, oh, he's slow, he's relevant, he can't really defend. He can do something up front. Whether it's a free kick, a header, and you guys are very good aerially as well. So like, you're probably going to be
and
quite
set
useful.
pieces, yeah, we've got
set pieces. You lot are very good with that. So at the end of the day, like, you've got Alonso who's going to be there. So it's going to be interesting to see. But honestly, if I was first time, I'd move my play to the left hand side, Chelsea's left hand side. That is because Alonso is probably the biggest liability we've got in that team. So
yeah. Lads, anything you want to add, Matt, Luke?
Yeah, I'll go. Apart from Rice, because he's being documented as a Chelsea link for the future or whatever you want to call it. Couple of things actually, I can't believe that Azpilicueta is still playing and Thiago Silva, both of them a combined age of what 60. They're 70 years old. They're still going, bless them.
Rumor has it that Thiago Silva is aging backwards. That's what I heard.
Man, it's weird. It's like Benjamin Button sort of thing going on. It's weird. But no, fair play to them. They both play a bit like sort of top boys that sort of going at their age. Is there anyone? And I'm using the example of maybe Souček, because I don't know if most of the Premier League I've caught onto this, but a lot of West Ham fans say that his performance haven't been as great as they have been last year and stuff like that. But is there anyone that Chelsea would look at, considering where we're aiming to go, apart from Declan Rice? Is there anyone that Chelsea would look at in the West Ham team and go, yeah, we'll have a bit of him? Because
is the question you're asking, who is the player you fear the most, Danny? I know it's not the question you were going to ask, Luke, really, but I want to ask Danny the question anyway. But what you're trying to say is, if Chelsea had enough money to spend, apart from Declan Rice, who would they look at? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, probably. Maybe.
I feel like, I'm going to try and answer this question, like both of those questions at the same time. I feel like the person I'm scared, because I'm not scared of. I feel like Antonio is going to be like Alonso time, eating time. I'm going to feast. I'm bringing my spoon, knife, and fork while eating today. 12:30 brunch settings. Coming from my eating Gucci. That's what I'm afraid of. So for me, it's like you've got that on the side. But would I want him at Chelsea? I feel like once again, he's one of those. He reminds me of like Michu almost. Like these players, they are good, but I don't feel like they are top level good. I don't feel like Antonio can start for Chelsea. As far as other West Ham players that I could potentially sign that are not Rice, Souček is probably the closest one. I can't think of another West Ham player that would be like, yeah, you know what, go on then. But like I said, Souček, like recently, his performances, I feel like they've sort of dropped down. I feel like other big teams wanted Souček as well, but things also sort of went a bit left. But you know the man I want. Everybody here knows the man I want. So,
no, you're not getting him. So don't you be bothering. I tell you what. You give us Lukaku. I'll take Lukaku. I'll take Mason Mount. I'll take Kante. And then you can give us 200 mil, and then you can have Declan Rice. How about we bully you lot and collect Declan Rice for free at the end of his contract?
In fairness, he didn't
expect that one. He wasn't expecting it. Oh my God.
In fairness, we did mug Chelsea off by buying Zouma because they were meant to get that geezer from Seville, and they never sold him to Chelsea, so they had to make do. But I've said to the boys, in all seriousness, Grandam, if West Ham don't make top four, Rice is gone, in my opinion. Whether it's 100 million or for whatever, I think Rice deserves to play for a top four team. And this is me being a completely neutral thinking, head on my shoulders here, take away the West Ham colours. But if we don't make top four, he's gone. So I really hope we beat you lot tomorrow, just to try and make it a bit more of a close thing. You know what I mean?
I think West Ham fans have kind of come to terms with the fact that we need to progress in order to keep our best players, and nobody can question how good Declan Rice is. I mean, he is phenomenal at his job. He goes under the radar, all that sort of stuff, and he does absolutely everything that every other team is. And you know what? Most teams probably in Europe, if not around the world, would need a Declan Rice in their team. The thing that we've got to our advantage is we need to progress this year. So top four and or a cup win. If we can somehow...
No, it's top four. It's top four.
No, but I'm telling you what, the cup...
Wow.
No, but the cup... the cup win would the only way to keep him would be the Europa League Cup win.
It's not
Because
it's
that's
Champions
qualification. That's qualifications for Champions League. So if
Yeah,
you
but-
win
yeah,
the
but-
you guys
Europa
are going
League,
for the Europa League.
sorry,
You guys are going for the Europa League.
we're in
No,
the last 16.
This is a question,
we-
isn't it?
So we're last 16 in Europa League. So for me as a
You gotta
West
go
Ham
for it,
fan,
yeah. You gotta go for it.
what keeps the player like Declan Rice is not just top four. Is if you don't get top four, you win Europa League. If you finish 6th and you win Europa League,
Yeah, but
Declan Rice stays.
Sorry, yeah.
He does, because then you qualify automatically for Champions
but
League.
inadvertently, you are making the same point because we would then qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah.
So if we finish 5th but win the Europa League, I guess that we're going for the Champions League anyway, which is redundant. So it's fine. Grandad, just wanted to ask you: are you saying you want Rice based on what you see, like in the highlights or anything like that, or have you watched a lot of Declan Rice? Have you watched him in England games? Have you watched him in that? Because I know everyone talks about him very highly, but West Ham fans watch him every week, and I am telling you now, the guy leaves me jaw dropped every single game because of what he does, and he's not carrying us, but he's just a very, very good player.
I'll be transparent. 3 years ago, me and Declan Rice, I was like, this is just me some Mount Friendship hype. You know what I'm saying? This just want these guys to come through so they can have the nice Instagram pictures and the TikToks, renegade. And then I was like, no, I don't want any of that. You know what I'm saying? I thought, and I'm sure that you guys have watched him for much longer than I have. I felt a couple of years ago, he's nowhere near, like there's a light and day difference in Declan Rice from a couple of years ago and Declan Rice that we're seeing now. The mental progression from Declan Rice before, his capability is on the ball, okay? His ability on the ball, his thought process before he releases a pass or makes a run or cuts in between lines has changed dramatically. But I honestly feel like as good as a player is, I feel like there's a cap. I feel he's a £60 million player in my book. I wouldn't spend more than £60 million on him. I know people that would spend 80 million because of his age, but I feel like I think he's one of the best CDMs in the league right now. One of the best DMs. I'd probably put him in the top 3. So he's a really good player, but honestly speaking, you don't agree with me? You don't agree with me?
No, not in a million years, mate. If Harry Maguire is going to Man United for 80 million, Declan Rice is going to someone else for over 80 million.
That was daylight robbery, mate. That was robbery.
And it would be the same thing. It would be the same thing. It would be the same thing.
That was daylight robbery. That was daylight robbery. Like, that wasn't going to happen. And you know, is it like you lot have a disadvantage here because I appreciate that you feel like because Europa League, you lot go for the Europa League. That shows intent, and I'm like, whoa, okay. We're getting more big teams in London. Obviously, Arsenal don't want to carry that weight, so you lot can take the mantle. I don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? So you lot get your thing done. But I feel like the way things are moving right now, everybody knows Rice wants to come to Chelsea. Do you know what I'm saying? People I know, texts I've seen, I've traded myself. I know that Rice wants to come to Chelsea, 100%. So it's going to take a lot more than that. If Chelsea go ahead and win the Premier League this season and maybe another trophy, potentially push the UCL again, Chelsea just becomes more and more attractive. They keep going far, and Rice wants to be a major part of that project. So I just feel like the fact every time his contract runs down, you not lose like any sort of mental grip on him. So imagine if you don't win any trophies this season. As much as I really rate your squad, I feel just like what happened to Leicester last year, if you guys get to the end of the season and you have injuries, that top 4, it can die out in your last 6 to 5 games. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. If we don't get to where we want to go, then our players will go for a cheaper value. I do understand that. I do, but then again, with exactly the same area, Maguire was one of Leicester's best players, and where Leicester were going, right, and he got bought by Man United and he's been shown up as probably not at Man United's level. Now, Declan Rice, as good as he is for West Ham, if he went to a team like Chelsea, the same thing could happen to him. It could. It's there. So you're saying it's daylight robbery getting Maguire, when Maguire was one of the best players in the Leicester team. But if he then goes to Man United and is a flop and it's daylight robbery, the same thing by equation could happen to Declan Rice. So, although he was one of the Leicester's players, got 80 million, and it all equated, it was a value of the player to the club rather than value of the player himself. I get what you're saying, but the same thing could happen to Rice. He could find himself going in the Chelsea team. You know, you've got Kante next to him doing all the work that Rice was doing at West Ham. So then he becomes a bit of a passenger in the midfield, not doing the same thing. Plus, Declan Rice was a centre-back when he started. That was his trade. That's how he was trading. He was coming up through the academy. It's only been the last year or two, 2 years, 3 years, possibly a push, he's been moved into midfield. So he started off as a centre-back and he's been trained into midfield. So suddenly if he goes back to Chelsea, I've heard pundits who have been around the top 4 clubs and stuff like that say that, I can see Rice getting pushed back into a centre-back role if he went to a top 4 club, because he wouldn't be able to compete with the midfielders in there. So I'm not disagreeing. I completely understand where you're coming from. It's just, in my mind, that could happen exactly the same thing as Sonny was saying, why did Declan Rice leave West Ham? Why did Maguire leave Leicester? Because they paid the money.
But the difference is, like, my thing is, like, when I break it all down, I feel like, once again, the contract situation, and not just that, when Maguire moved to Manchester United, his contract was a bit longer. Nobody was really going after him. It was United, Leicester. Like I said, United were like, take the card, whatever. Do you know when you're going to the club, you're going to the bar, you're like, yeah, the tab is on me. Everybody get drinks, whatever. That's what United did. They gave them their card, they did the damage, and boom, daylight robbery. Can you see that beautiful new training complex they have? It's Maguire money. You know what I'm saying? When you look at Jack Grealish as well, Grealish was popping off the entire country, but nobody was going for him because Aston Villa asking for too much money. And City came up, they had lost the player, and there was a problem. Declan Rice, on the other hand, I personally, 60, 65 million is my thing. Are we going to pay that? I doubt it. Because not just Chelsea want him, United want him as well, and the other big teams in England are watching. So I just honestly feel like he's going to be leaving your club a lot sooner than you think, but not for... Some West Ham fans have told me that he's going to leave for like 100+ million. That ain't happening. It is not happening.
I'll agree.
Right, listen, I need to interject because we're now on a different tangent, and we're not on the preview. We need to get onto. So it's going to bring me to that time of the show. Dammy, I want you to hit me. That's good debate. That's what we love. Dammy, what is your predictions for the game tomorrow? 12:30 kickoff at home for West Ham at the London Stadium. And listen, you can be as honest as you want.
12:30 kickoff. That's the red flag. So I mean, Alonso is a red flag. West Ham tax, Rice tax, Antonio tax. I reckon. I feel like Chelsea are going to have to grind a lot of results this season. I feel like probably like a 2-1. A 2-1 is sketchy, or a sketchy 2-0. That's what I'm thinking. Chelsea win, obviously.
Cool, man.
Before we had this Rice chat, he was going to say 2 on West Ham. I just know it.
Hell no!
Changed his hand.
Hell no! Hell no! Oh my dude.
Dammy, mate. Before we ask, before you can head, Matt. Look, any other last questions you want to give to Dammy?
I would, but it would take about another hour to get through the debate. If I questions.
Oh my dude.
Listen, Dammy, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. A breath of fresh air on the channel. It's nice. You've lit it up, and it's all good debates. It's all good banter. I would absolutely love to have you back on the channel in the future. It's been cool, man. So if anyone's interested, go and check out the Grand Dam on YouTube and any of the social media channels as well. And as I always say, Dammy, all the best for the season after tomorrow's game and the return fixture later in the year.
Okay,
and then maybe actually never again.
Oh my God. Big up to you guys. I enjoyed this. It was really lovely. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
cool.
Hopefully, like I said, you too. I'm watching you a lot closely. Definitely not Declan Rice doing watch, but I'm watching you a lot closely. Have a good season. Hopefully, let's see how it goes. Maybe you can chat to us in UCL next year.
Maybe when we win the Europa League and we bring Kante and Mason Mount to the club, then we'll come back and have a chat with you, Dammy. Okay?
I'm out of here. I'm gone. Oh my days.
Right, everyone in the chat saying really nice to have you on. So thank you very much, Dammy. This one here, Crosshammer says, "Hi, Dam. Like you, but hope you lose tomorrow, mate."
Oh my God.
Right, listen, take it easy, mate, and we'll speak to you soon, Dammy. Cheers, mate.
Take care.
Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, mate.
Cool, man. Loved it. Love it. Great guest. Absolutely great guest. Just good banter,
right,
good fun. Yeah.
Bit clueless, but he was all right.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That's what it is. And I think, you know, I don't doubt for a second that, you know, as a West Ham fan, we probably add maybe 10, 15 million on a player I don't doubt that for a second. And when you're the opposition team looking at a player, you probably reduce the value by 20 or 30 million as well. So, you know, there's that kind of room to play with. But that's a different show for another time. Maybe we make a show of it. Maybe we get Dammy on, and maybe we get you on, Luke, and maybe we get another opposition fan on from another club, and we have a big mass debate about the signings of the players and see where it goes from there.
To be fair.
Yeah, I think we do.
Next time you tell me off for talking too much.
Listen, but it is the preview, so that's what we need to do sometimes.
No worries.
Cool. It's time to talk our beloved West Ham. Let's get straight onto them. So, of course, we then go, and I did the show earlier today, which was David Moyes' press conference, but I'm going to gloss over some of the stuff that he said today. So let's go and take a look and see what the gaffer had to say. So David Moyes was a busy man again. I have done a show earlier on today, so go and check it out. And I can't because the images are gone.
Amateur hour.
Oh no, the images are gone. Oh no, hold on a minute. Do you know what? They're not. I found them. There they are. There they are. Moyes on team news. Aaron Creswell back in light training, so we'll have a look at that. After that, most people are okay. Other than the bad news about Ogbonna, in the main, we've got everybody fit, though. What do you take from that, Matt?
Creswell's...
Does
I
he
don't
make
know.
it?
He said he's back in training, and he goes, and, you know, apart from Ogbonna, everyone's good. So, is that just Moyes trying to play his little smoke screen that he does sometimes? I kind of read that like Creswell's going to play.
You read? See, I read that the opposite way.
At the start, when he goes, he's back in like training. I go like, he's not going to play.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, he goes, you know, apart from the bad bonnet, everyone's going to fit. And I'm like, all right. So does that mean he's going to play? Is he trying to do the old smoke screen?
Yeah. Let's move on to the next bit. Because we're going to talk about who we'd like to start in the team in the build-up in a second. He goes on and talks about Antonio. He says centre forwards can go through a barren spells. Mick has been a little unlucky. The keeper made a great save from him. He's really important to us. He's our focal point and has been important, and I'm hoping we can get him back in form. Strikers just need to keep getting in there and get a chance. Let's hope Mick continues to get his chances. Look, does he still continue up front tomorrow based upon what Mr. David Moyes has said?
Yeah, 100% he starts up front. Is this again? I was waiting for this. I've been waiting for all this. I said, you know, when we was on a winning streak and was going up, I think just gotta wait till we don't get a few results, or there's
and then everyone blames Antonio.
And everyone's
everyone's blaming everyone. I've blamed Suchik myself a few times this season. I probably shouldn't have. He had a good game against Brighton actually, but Antonio, I think people actually do honestly forget the way that he works for the team. He doesn't get used as a striker. The fact that he scores the goals he does is amazing because we don't set him up for service all the time. He hasn't got balls flying to the box for him. He hasn't got players putting through balls for him on a penny. If he scores a goal, he has to sort of work it himself. He has to snap at a shot inside the box, so he has to sort of work it. So that's why Moyes has got him up there, because he does the work rate. He's a bit like a full nails up front. He's not got much frills and spills, but he just does what he can. I think, like I say, look, you got Harry Kane for Tottenham, who normally goes through a barren spell at some point in the league, and everyone calls him, you know, one of the best strikers in the league. He's had a fantastic start to the season, Antonio, and he was always going to go for a rough patch. And you know, I think tomorrow will be a good test for him. But people have got to remember as well, he's been playing for Jamaica, and I think, you know, at the same time that can make your whole body suffer and get tired and fatigue more and stuff like that. It doesn't look as sharp as he does at the start of the season, but then probably every player suffered from a lack of sharpness at some point. But I think I'm not worried about him. I feel actually a bit sorry for him. The criticism he's got, because I think first since he's been at West Ham, he's always been a bit of a workhorse, and he's got a lot on his shoulders being the only striker at the club, and it's a lot, and it's not really on him. That's on David Moyes and the club for not buying a striker for whatever reason. So I'm not worried. No,
I did a show earlier on today, and I said that I'm kind of I do get a little bit pissed off at the attack that Antonio gets, because players go through dips, ups and downs. Antonio's gone through many at the club, but when he's bounced back with a vengeance. And he's proved so many people wrong. And you hit a run of games where he's not scoring goals and people are saying he looks a bit tired, etc., etc. But in actual fact, he consistently says that he's not tired. He consistently says he's the fittest he's ever been. It's just us as fans who sit behind the screen or sit in the stands and watch him and think, no, he's not going to do it. And he's got us out of so many problems in the past. He really has. Without his contributions of goals over the last 18 months, we wouldn't be anywhere near where we are at right now. It's ridiculous, and it does drive me a little bit insane when you hear people saying that. I mean, 5 goals and 5 assists. Antonio has directly been involved in 10 goals in his last 10 Premier League London derby appearances. He's the only West Ham player in Premier League history to register double figures for both goals, which is 11, and assists, which is 10 in London derby matches. And people are digging him out left, right, and centre. You know what I mean? It's a ridiculous. It's like
I said though. We've now upped our standards so high, even to a point I don't think we can recognise as fans we've ever seen our team play like this. And the minute those standards drop, me personally, I don't do it. Right now, I'm still living a dream. I don't care. I'm not criticising the players at all. It's still amazing to see that West Ham are still fourth, despite 3 games without a win. But the minute the standard drops, everyone's like, right, well, why are we dropping our standards? Why is so-and-so not scoring? Why is so-and-so not going for it? I was honestly slagging off Benrahma throughout the game against Brighton. I don't think he should have started. I think Lanzini should have started. Lanzini played really well when he came on against Brighton, and it just shows you that the squad will change. The squad will dip in form. Certain aspects of the squad will go in and out of good times and bad times. So for me, I'm not worried. But I can understand why people are criticising. It's understandable, but it's also disappointing at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Loads of comments coming in. We'll come on to them in a second. Father Snowman, was nice to see under 23s win today, 4-2. By all accounts, we scored a great goal. By reporters, we did have seen it. Alessi, he gets the ball in the left back kind of position, and he literally drives forward and scores an absolute wonder goal. Fantastic goal. And I think we're going to see the likes of the younger players next week when we play the Europa League game against Dinamo Zagreb. And on top of that, Father Snowman, just to let you know, your baubles are in the work. I can see them right now. They're nearly done, so they're happening. Don't worry, they're on their way to you soon. But if you are watching, it's time to tell us your starting 11. So get the comments in there, wherever they are, wherever you put them, and let us know who you would like to see start the game tomorrow. So let me bring up the typical average amateur hour screen that I'm going to bring onto the screen for everyone to see. Let me see if I can put us all there. Right, Lookie Boy and Mr. Matt Flack. It is time. Oh, what's happened here? Something. Oh no, let's get that off. I think there's something happening. No, it's back. It's fine.
Fire essential.
Yeah, very essential. Right, let's start with the goalkeeper. 2 goalkeepers in question. Why he's dragged him out? There he is. Areola and Mr. Fabianski. Who do we play?
Fabianski.
He's going straight with it. Matt, you agree?
Yeah. I said earlier in the season I wanted Areola, but Fabianski's doing it at the moment. So
I thought.
And also, don't forget, I mean, Areola probably played Thursday night. So
it's gonna be cups and Europa for Areola. That's what it's gonna be.
Cool. Right, formation.
Oh, you are being a Yeah. For me, it will be a very similar to the Man City game. He'll play 3 at the back / 5 at the back with wing backs. And he'll have. Oh, how do you work that one out? So he's
No
2 in the
names.
mid.
No names.
No, I'm just trying to. No, I'm not doing that. It'll be 3 at the. I think
So
Creswell
it looks
will
like
play.
a 3-4-3, doesn't it? Because they have like
I
a wing,
think-
bit like Chelsea's formation with wing backs.
Matt, I mean, I don't know if I agree with Luke on that because I think that I think it will go back to the 4 again and stay at the 4. To be honest,
fuck you
what do
both
you
then.
think, Matt? Because I don't know if it's. I think there's a time and a place to change the formation. I just don't think this is the game. I think that's where we maybe saw some problems, I suppose you could say, against Man City. But people, I mean,
So
people in
I
the
think there's
chat
a
are saying-
difference though.
There's other
I think
factors
there's a
in that
difference
game,
though.
though.
Yeah. Go on then.
I think the difference is the Man City game. Like we solely changed the tactics just to try and shut Man City out. Whereas if we'd have gone for our normal formation, we'd have like actually been able to like man up 1-on-1 and man up people.
Yeah.
Whereas if you changed the system for tomorrow, went to the 5 at the back / 3 at the back, you'd actually be like matching up against Chelsea because you're basically going to play the same formation they're playing. And then if we play the 4 at the back, you're playing 4 at the back against 3 attackers. It can leave you like short. I know you still got an extra man, but you get that second runner. I'd probably go with Luke. I reckon he will go to the 5 at the back.
Okay,
The
so
weather,
if
the
we're
weather,
gonna,
just to
the weather
match
was a
up
massive
against
factor
them.
as well for me.
you what?
But this
Weather-
does depend on one player being fit.
Weather was a huge factor for me against Man City as well. I know it's the same for both teams, but we weren't with it.
At the end of that first half, you couldn't even I saw some highlights. You couldn't even see the pitch.
I'm amazed that Johnson saw that ball to block it off the line. In fairness,
Right.
done really well there.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty then. If we're going to be playing 3 at the back, we're looking at Zouma leading the line back there.
Yep.
Who partners him?
I'm gonna say Dawson keeps his place.
I agree. Matt?
Yeah, those probably will keep his place.
Okay. Who's going to be the third centre back?
And this is if he's
Are you
fit.
but you're saying that you think he will be fit, and if you do think he's going to be
Creswell.
fit, then it's going to be Creswell stepping in there.
I think Zouma will play in the middle, Diop on the right, and Creswell on the left.
Cool, excellent. Luke, you agreeing in that?
Yeah, it's Creswell to me. Yeah, that seems more or less. And then you'll have. I was going to say Masuaku at left wing back, but I think Johnson's probably going to go there again.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a bad idea either. I think he's playing well.
Matt, do you think that?
Yeah, I was going to say Masuaku, but you know what? I wasn't even very impressed with him the other day, to be honest. Like the last couple, he had that. Was it the Europa League game when he played quite well, but he didn't have to do any defending. And in the last 2 games, he's come on. Like when he's played, he hasn't done much either direction. So for the defensive output, you probably would say Johnson. And also, I suppose with that, you've got the fact that Creswell can still whip the balls in. He can still get forward.
Yeah.
They could even probably in theory they could probably take it in turns going forward, Creswell and Johnson.
Yeah, of course. Right, let's get into the midfield. Let's bring out the options we've got. We don't think Martin Noble will be in there, so there's no point in putting him in there. Are we going to go with Potato Rice and Salad, even though people are calling for Mr. Potato Salad to go and get a little rest? What do you think?
Well, yeah, I think it's them too. I think he had a really good game against Brighton, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought he did.
I think he's one of our better players against Brighton. So, Jet.
What do you think, Luke?
Yeah, no, I think he goes in. It's standard turn midfield, play well against Brighton. So yeah, no reason why not.
Right. Let me bring in the man who we all probably believe is going to go up top, and that is Mickey Antonio. Everyone in agreement there?
Yep.
Excellent.
Now we get to the good part.
Now we get to the good part. Is that not a famous song? So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 2 more players to come on the park. Who are those players?
I just realised. Oh, yeah.
See, that's what I'm thinking. So, I mean, for me, it's a
Yeah, I just
no-brainer. Jared
realised.
Bowen. Jared
Mm,
Bowen comes in here.
not for me.
Not for you. Where does he go?
Not that I wouldn't pick him, but I'm saying if you look at the Man City formation, why was Jared Bowen left out in the first place? And I think it's because Moyes wanted more of a workhorse midfield, more of a defensive midfield. Now, if he wants to go for the same sort of thing, he'll have Fornals and he'll have Lanzini in that midfield. And I think if people watched Lanzini's game against Brighton, he was a lot more physical than I've ever seen Lanzini, to be honest. He was just pushing against players. He was shoulder barging them. He really wanted to get the ball. I think he was boosted by what the fans wanting him back and scoring that goal. So I think Bowen and Bramama could be on the bench tomorrow. And yeah, there's
Matt, what do you think?
two. Yeah, go for it.
I think it'd be Bowen.
Well,
I
you're
don't
wrong,
think Lanzini can do that workload for 90 minutes.
maybe not 90 minutes.
Having
no,
said
maybe
that,
more.
I was also sitting there thinking, you know what? Because he has done this, I think, this season and last season. And it wouldn't surprise me if Fornals, Bowen and Lanzini started, but Johnson didn't start.
So this is what I was going to say. This is where
And you'd actually put Fornals in Johnson's position.
Right, okay.
Because he has played there this season and last season. He just tucks in and tracks back with Creswell.
Therefore, Lanzini drops in here.
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing is, I actually don't think this is going to be the team or the formation, because I think what we're actually seeing, I think that the formation that we've been playing when we've been performing well, and if you think about the likes against Liverpool, etc., is with the 4 at the back. So I think we will see the 4 at the back, and if Creswell is fit,
but
it will.
That formation gives you that formation. The way Moyes played it before was when we were attacking, it was a 4 at the back. It's just when we went defensive, you saw like Fornals tuck in.
See, this is where I think him.
But you're going to say then
Lanzini needs to be in the hole. To be honest, I don't see how he can play anywhere else. To be honest, I get it. I get why we're going to would want to do that, but I just don't see how he can play out there, because I think he'll be wasted, and I think it would defeat the purpose in trying to do it. There would literally, in my opinion, be no point in playing him, because if you, like you said, mate, if you bring Fornals out here or Johnson out here, Lanzini plays well with other players in and around him, but he's lost out here. He's completely lost. You're asking him then to go out onto the wings to cover all that left-hand side, to drop inside. But then, you know, I know what you're saying. You can bring Fornals up and you can push him in, etc. I don't know.
I must admit, this is where West Ham has changed, right? Because at no point any of us have gone, how are we going to stop Chelsea? All we're doing is looking at how what our players can do to them. And I've never really actually thought about this in depth, because we're all going, well, we should play. And just your quote there, Ganson, was when we were playing well, we had 4 at the back. Well, technically, you haven't really played well in the last 4 games, because we haven't last 3 games, because we haven't got a win, and no one's gone, oh, we played well, but we lost. Everyone's going, well, we kind of deserve to lose that one as well. So in a way, that's what I'm saying. If we'd have beat Brighton, it would have been different, but because we drew against them, and no one's going, oh, how did Brighton get away? Everyone went, oh, it was kind of coming, wasn't it, really, a 1-1. So I totally get what you're saying, but at the same time, Moyes is going to have one eye on Chelsea and going, the way they're playing, the way we need to combat it. So
harsh,
harsh
on Ben Johnson.
Yeah, very harsh on Ben Johnson, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, another player that we believe is going to be travelling with the squad tomorrow is this young man, Sonny Perkins. He missed the under-23 game.
Get him in.
And he wasn't playing, but he wasn't injured either. So he was in the squad the other day. So it looks like he is going to be there. He's not going to be bold and brave and just chuck him in at the deep end, is he?
Last minute.
just in the
92 plus 3.
What do you think then? Are we happy with that team that we've just put out there for everyone to see? You were saying
Fornals is the only one that would worry me now. That's the only thing that would worry me is Fornals.
Matt?
And maybe Dawson.
I think that gives you flexibility. So Fornals has done that position for us, even this season and the end of last season.
So what you're saying
Right.
is, if Lanzini drops in here, when we're attacking, Fornals drops up, and these lads all switch over to the left.
Yeah.
And then that gives you
back four.
Yeah. And then bang, go forward.
And then when Chelsea start coming forward,
yeah,
they all step over and Fornals tucks in and Lanzini drops out onto the wing.
Yeah. There you go. You like that? Look, you seem to be convinced now.
I don't know what I am at this point. There's so many things that could go on with that team. To be fair, it's kind of nice to have options going. But it sometimes the best thing you can do is mess with another team's mind. And if we put out a formation that no one expects, it's actually funny. There's a comment here from Mandy G that says a tough game for Perkins with their defensive record. Well, sometimes that's the best thing to do. Is just chuck in a player that they've never heard of. They've got no idea about him. It's not too far away. It's one of the latest comments.
Go 3-5-2 and play Perkins up front, Antonio. There you go.
Well, yeah, just mix it up a little bit. You haven't got to play it too obvious. Yeah. Like I said, Chelsea are gonna know their game, and we've got to try and combat that. Plus, they're our own. And if it depends what team turn up, but it's anything. Nothing you've picked out there is a bad team. Yeah. It just depends. Think mentally and physically what one's turns up, but the only one I think is a bit. If Chelsea are throwing balls in the box, then Dawson's perfect. If they're playing balls through the floor, through passes, diagonals, or stuff like that, then Dawson's a bit of a worry. But that's the only player I really worry about in a minute. But no, nothing against him. I think he's a great defender. It's just out of all the defenders, I think people worry about him more than anyone else.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, listen, if we get this team prediction right, it would be the first team prediction of the season that we'd get right because we've not nailed one at all. So which makes me think
is mad because we don't really change that much.
You see that?
We normally get about 6 or 7 or 8 players right. We always get a couple wrong.
To be fair, there has been quite a few that we have had right when we were consistently doing well and the team was staying the same. But anyway, before we move on, and we're going to go into the comments just now, get your predictions in the chat. If you are watching right now, hit me up with your predictions in the chat as we speak. Right, again, before we come into the chat, put your predictions in there and we will go through them. But let's jump over to Football Prizes, who tonight have launched their latest prize. So for £5.95, you can get your hands on, enter the competition to get your hands on a Declan Rice match-worn West Ham shirt. Worn during the Everton versus West Ham Premier League match, Goodison Park, on Sunday, the October the 17th, 2021. Tickets cost £5.95 and there are 99 tickets to be sold. The competition ends next Friday at 7:30 p.m. Only one ticket has been sold from a possible 99. So get yourself involved on that. I'll put that in the chat for the link. You can go and purchase those tickets as well. Before we do move on again into the chat, make sure you do, if you are going to the game tomorrow, go and check out Iron Support and Food Banks and all the work that John Ratomski is doing. They are located here, which is opposite the Park Information Centre on Stratford Walk, just before the Aquatic Centre. And if you can't afford to give anything to them, but you can afford to give them maybe a tin of something, they're taking food donations as well. So it'd be really cool if you can take some donations down there and give back to the local community, because I'm telling you what, see right now, they absolutely need it. And even if you can't do that and you're willing to go to the pound shop and buy an advent calendar, they're trying to do some calendars for the kids. The quicker we get them to the kids, the better. So please try your best to go down and help all the guys out as much as they can down there. As you can see, in between the two posts, just before the Aquatic Centre, massive help.
It's a good idea, actually. I never think to do that. Do food rather than donations.
Some food, yeah, 100%. Mate. People are in so much desperate. Yeah, especially right now, so many people are in desperate need. So just take anything down you can do, and yeah, that will definitely help them out as much as we can. I'm going to jump through comments really quickly because we're an hour and 5 minutes into the show. Then we'll get on to your predictions, lads. Freno saying Lanzini could be a nice surprise. Steve WHU Bell was saying trouble is the expectations on the boys has really ramped up. A couple of dodgy results and it's all negative. Nail in the head, isn't it? Yeah.
That's it. Bang on.
Freno is saying Areola on goal. Moyes to go 7-2-1 tomorrow.
Why not? Why not, eh?
Gary's saying start Lanzini for F's sake. But I mean, Lanzini's made a strong case as why he should start, hasn't he?
Happy birthday, Gary. I think it's Gary's
happy birthday, Gary.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the problem is, you're saying about Lanzini's made a good case. It's not just that Lanzini's made a good case, and I'm sure the Algeria fans are going to go mad now. But Benny's been crap for about a month. I'm not going to sit here and deny it.
I'm going to put his name up. Yep.
Well, he has. He scored them 2 goals. Was it Genk away?
Yeah.
And after that, he's been awful. He's been awful for about 3 games.
I have to agree.
And
from behind my screen.
Ever since, every time Lanzini's come on, Lanzini's had more of an impact than Rama has. So I always say Moyes will play a player until he plays badly for a few games, and Ben Rama's had a few bad games. So it wouldn't surprise me if at some point if Lanzini comes in. And Lanzini's earning it on the way he's performed. Equally as much as that Ben Rama's earning it on the way he's performed.
Yeah, there you go. So for anyone that wants to know, that wasn't the words of Anton or Luke, that was the words of Matt. So James Bong is saying the usual lineup with super fabs between the sticks. Benzini, Benny. Oh, there's David De Gea. Where's he gone? Benny first half and Lanzini second. I mean, he gets. Look, if you can still hear us, I don't know if you can, but you dig us out. But look at your avatar image. Look at your avatar image.
I've blown my nose. Sorry.
But
it is. But no, I play on the joke. I look like the hater, but I am the better version looking than the hater. That's what I'm going to go with. All right, so piss off, everyone.
Epic Hashtime isn't happy. He says, I'm tired of hearing this. Fabianski did nothing wrong. Bull. Yes.
What did he do wrong last game?
Fabs has been good.
Sort of know what he's getting at.
What? The goal? I mean,
no, there's.
You can ask Anne. Have I sat here before and said he needs to be dropped? You know, I've apparently got an agenda against Fabianski. So
he does.
I'm the one sitting there saying at the moment you've got to play him. He's not doing anything wrong.
He's lying. Vision is saying Lanzini has to play. Fab has had lots of clean sheets. Areola on goal. Fab got goals. Leave Asalo. Who would want Kane after spitting his dummy out? If he can do it there, he can do it anywhere because he wants to move and let his teammates down. Bad in it. Long may it continue. Tomorrow would suit Areola better. We needed the orange ball for the City game, evening everyone.
What's that ball anyway?
Fab, Sufal, Creswell, Dawson, Zouma, Diop, Dual, Lanzini, Fornals, Benrahma, Bowen, Antonio. As you can see, everyone is naming different teams here. Fab, Sufal, Zouma, Diop, Creswell, Rice, Suchek, Lanzini, Fornals, Bowen, Antonio. Bonnie is saying Masuaku should retire. Vinay is saying Fab is a good keeper. Well, listen, Luke is his biggest fan, so I'll bring Luke up on the screen there. King Masuaku is your biggest man. There you go.
I'll put it out there very quickly. I do not believe that Masuaku should be put in a position ever where he has to defend because he is not a good defender. He's too brainless, too brain dead to be a defender, right? What he is good at is dribbling. And if people remember back to the last time he was under Moyes, he was probably one of our best wingers. His assists and everything like that was brilliant. So I will forever stand by him and say that he does have positive attributes. It's up to West Ham to get those positive attributes out of him. So the point I would actually make to people is that when you see Antonio take a shot, 1 in 2 shots will probably go into Rosehead over the bar, probably hit a fan in the stand, right? Now when Masuaku does it, everyone tends to go, oh, it's crap overall. No, it's not. There's not. People watch the way he dribbled around the Man City team and everything else like that. He has got something in him. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. He's a good player on his day with what he does. Don't expect him to be good at something that he isn't good at, because that would be stupid. So there you go.
Budgie's in the house. Even though apologies for my lateness, but I was checking up on the pregnant dog. Hope the dog's okay, mate.
Good luck with that one, mate.
Butcher, Lanzini scored a banger against City in the Arctic weather. Lanzini and
which is up the goal of the month, by the way. Yeah. I didn't even see that today.
Is it not?
They've put the goal of the month. You know, like the votes for the goal of the month.
Yeah.
They put the goals up, and Lanzini's goal wasn't in it, but the goal that Jimenez scored against us was.
Ridiculous. He'll be in it. He'll be in it next month, I think.
I don't. No, it was still November, wasn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
matter.
still in
They'll put
November,
it in, they'll put it in next month.
We are. Frank Butcher saying we're proper
Have to.
massive, and we are, mate. We are. And Levi Salo says, in Moyes, we trust. Perkins, better option than Yarmolenko. Tactics, not tic-tacs, Moyes. Would love to see Perkins and Antonio up top together at some point. Hey, that would be interesting. You never know. You never know. Not Perkins as a lone striker.
Antonio running off the through balls, mate. Antonio off the flick-ons from Perkins.
Here we go. Right, before I do it, I'm going to ask you guys. Lucky boy, predictions tomorrow, 12:30 kickoff, West Ham at home.
Waiting for this. You've been going around the bush. I'm going to... Right, 2-1 for me. Reece James for Chelsea. Kurt. You get excited at weird times, you do, don't you?
I know.
Kurt Zouma, set piece, and then Lanzini goal. Don't know when.
Nobody.
2-1.
Lanzini. Matt Flack. Attention, Matt Flack.
Desmond.
He's a bit annoying.
He's so miserable, man. Hold on a minute. Let me just get rid of him for a second. Yeah, see that fucking Matt when I have him on week on and week out? He is the most miserable motherfucker.
I don't know why you allow him on here, mate.
Honestly, I have no idea. You know, he just comes in, he just fucking thinks he knows what he's talking about. Stato, man. He just gives us all the crap results, all the crap predictions. Oh shit! Oh, Matt, how you doing, mate? You okay? What was your prediction again, mate?
Desmond.
Oh God!
I was going to go for a 2-1 and looked at the 2-1, so I was like, oh, I'll go for a 2-1.
Yeah, don't blame it on me, mate. Don't blame it on me. Blame yourself.
Well,
something
came up in my memories, and I sent the video to you lads in the chat. And hold on, let me just get this right. That quite possibly, no, it wasn't. That was one of the last times I saw West Ham play Chelsea and beat Chelsea 10 years ago at Upton Park.
No.
When Maega scored the last minute to make it 3-1 West Ham. So I'm going to go.
I still love Maega.
I'm going to go
I don't care.
3-1 West Ham. I'm going to go 3-1 West Ham. If you think that's mental, Epic Hashtime goes 10-0. Let's go. Frank Butcher says 2-1 West Ham because we're massive. Howard Ale says I would rather play Pat Butcher than Yarmo. Vinay saying 2-0 to West Ham. 4-0 on Lanzini. Mandy J saying 2-1 win. And Neil saying 1-0 Antonio. Horn Swazzler's agreeing with you, Matt. Desmond. Peachy Boy from the West Ham Random. If you haven't checked it out, it's wild on his channel. Go and subscribe to it. From Peachy Boy. Hope you're keeping safe, mate. You're saying 3-1 West Ham. Oh, there you go. We're connecting, mate. We're connecting. Chelsea are a decent side, only a 1-0 win. Zouma, Steve Tyler saying 2-1. Freno saying 1-0. Lawrence Watkins is saying 2-1. God, so many comments. Crosshammer saying 2-1. Howard Ailes is saying 4-0. Rice, Suchek, Lanzini, and Perkins on his Premier League debut. Love that.
Boom.
2-1 set pieces, I think. 1-0 from Pete Chapman to West Ham. Levi Salah says 2-1 West Ham. Paul Evans saying 3-0 West Ham. Antonio Rice Perkins 3-2 to West Ham. Oh my God, where's that comment gone? It's the first time it's jumped in ages. Matt, you've been in the sin bin. 2-1 West Ham, 1-0 West Ham. So many. Vinay 2-0 to West Ham. Amir saying, Amir, come on, son, get out of it. GP 5-0. 3-1 West Ham. Oh, big drunk sad face. Good day, chaps. 1-8 from Kieran. Kieran, hope you're well. Good to see you, mate. There you go. So many comments. It's ridiculous. Tomorrow, look, you're not going to the game, are you?
No, I've just literally had my negative test reported to me during live. That's why the tension's been put. So I'm not going to go anyway. To be fair, I've been in all week. I should have been Butlins this weekend. Didn't go there, so just
well, if you want to, you're more than welcome to join me in the Matchday live tomorrow. So you've got the choice, mate.
I might do, and I might not. I shall let you know what my plans are.
And Matt, you going to the game?
There's reasons.
Yeah, I'm going to the game.
No, I'm not listening to your reasons, mate. So if you want to, make sure you come and join me tomorrow for the Matchday live. The kickoff is 12:30. I will try and go live from 11:30 if I can somehow nip away from underneath that big, humongous thumb my wife has.
Is that your reasons for not being able to do it?
I'm just admitting it. I'm admitting it. I'm under the thumb. There's 3 kids. Yeah. You're just under the thumb because you're just.
I'm not. That's completely the opposite reason why.
He's like, no.
No, I'm not. He's not having this. If he's not going to hear me out, he's not going to hear it, is he? So carry on. Get the video over and done with. It's fine. Helped you out tonight. Give you a debate and all that. So
Yeah, you did. You did.
thank you later.
Before we go, go and check out our channel sponsors. Go and check out the channel sponsors having a little boogie in the background. Anyway, that brings it in. Oh, I've not given you. Oh, I've given you my prediction. I've given you my prediction. Let's go and see what everyone else is saying in the chat
Losing the
before we
plot.
head. You what?
Losing the plot in there.
I have tonight, mate. I have. That's what happens. That is what happens.
Freak is later, mate.
Fate Briggs, come on, you irons.
Good girl.
And you're all talk groovy music, baby, groovy music. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Please make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you do hit that thumbs up, and please make sure you leave a comment. Before I go, look, who's the player you fear the most from Chelsea?
Reece James.
Matt, who's the player you fear the most from Chelsea?
Lukaku.
Look, who's the player they should fear the most from West Ham?
Oh, you arsehole. Zouma.
Matt, who's the player they should fear most from West Ham?
Bowen.
Thanks for watching. This has been the West Ham Chelsea Matchday build-up show. Like, subscribe, comment, and come on, you irons.